Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hello, I'm Dave Tuttle. I'm the author of So Licensed Tips and Tales. And today I'm going to talk to you about psychics. In my book, I mention them and they've been very useful to me in my life. I thought I'd explain a little more about them. They're basically, psychics are just like you and me, but some were born with that channel open where they can talk to the other side, get messages from the other side. Others have to kind of work at it, and gradually they open that channel. But and some of them, I've read autobiography of some that really had a hard time being ridiculed and stuff like that, accepted and so on. But they really do provide a good service. If you get you can get a good psychic reading, and it can change your life. I used to, when I first started getting into this, I'd go get a psychic reading for maybe 15 minutes or half an hour or something. They usually have it for an hour or two if you're into more lengthy things, and but it's always a good experience, and it enlightens you. Sometimes they bring in your spirit guides. They can bring in your angels, and it could lead you on your life, so to say, give you some tips as to where your spiritual path might lie. And you can also ask personal questions of them, and they'll get those answers for you also. When I go to a psychic, I haven't been to one for a couple of years, but I don't tell them anything. I don't ask them anything. I just let them pick up what they can, and that's the best way I've found it. My wife, on the other hand, talks to them about stuff before, and would get more personal messages, and usually she would book for an hour regardless. But it is a very, very interesting thing to have a psychic reading, and it will help you realize that you are connected to the other side. You can also get your deceased relatives through some psychics. I have not really chosen to do that. I kind of like to hear from spirits and guides, but sometimes those guides are actually your deceased relatives, and may even be an angel. But it's up to you entirely. I one time I I got it reading, and I think I booked it for a half an hour, I think, and it was on the outside of a storefront. This guy had a boxed-in location on the outside, and he was going on, and the reading continued, and he said something about some money coming or something, and he said, I once had a guy that got $30,000, and he went out and bought a hot dog stand, and I thought, that's not going to happen. But a few months, 2 or 3 months later, I did get a windfall of a substantial amount of money, and I did not buy a hot dog stand. But the psychic was right on in his little prophecy there that something like that would be coming in. It was a result of a claim that I had made with the VA or something. But when I moved out west and talked to the VA people, they said, write down anything that was a problem with you when you got out of the service. And so I did that. And then this thing ended up providing a little lump sum for me. But so you never know exactly what they're going to get in the reading. And sometimes you're not going to realize in the reading that you actually got some good information. You may have to go back home and think about it, or you'll remember something or someone that they talked about. But there is a good thing, and it's so you shouldn't think that they are something. There's something different about them. They're just opening up a channel, which we all have with our intuition and guidance in that way. So but they can also smell things, and which we can too. They're also audio, and they can see actual images and persons and stuff, and they'll give those to you, and then it might not even make any sense to the psychic, but it'll have relevance to you, or it's something that you can think about later, and it'll come to you that was actually a true statement that the psychic made. Oh, the common misconceptions that I might want to address, if any, that they're might bring in some bad spirits or something, or that they're just trying to fool you or take your money and run. That's not true. But you can judge on your own, and use your intuition. Which psychic you would like to see. Like if you went to Sedona, Arizona, there are a lot of psychics there, and you can. In one place, it's the Center for the New Age, and they have, I think, 10, maybe more psychics working there. So you can kind of use your intuition, see which psychic would appeal to you, and the other psychics in the town. They're all interesting. Hi, Cassandra. She's asking about intuition. Why do some people have better intuition despite not consciously thinking about it? Well, you're lucky. But some people have to meditate, do spiritual things. But if you have that in your DNA, a lot of psychics actually have had their parents or grandparents who were psychic also. So it's kind of handed down in a generational aspect. So you could actually have somebody highly intuitive in your past that you didn't know about, and that trait was passed on down to you. Excuse me. Anybody else ever have a bad psychic reading? Yeah, Chad asked if you think everyone can be psychics. Well, attended a spiritualist church for a while, and they just for fun, and they had training there in their Sunday school classes. It was a Christian spiritualist class, and they just practiced utilizing that talent. I went to one of their Sunday school things when they did that. Normally they had messages on a Wednesday night or something, and and a little dinner before that, which was a fundraiser for them. I'd go there for a short message, but losing my trend of thought here. Yes, okay, you can be trained to do that. Some of the well-known psychics have gone through training to do that, and what it's like is just flexing a muscle that you already have. Psychic John Edwards, I think his mother was always calling in a psychic to their home, and he would have nothing to do with it. And finally, she got John Edward to take a reading with a psychic, and she told him that he was psychic and that he should pursue that, which eventually he did. Yeah, the things that happen with a psychic, sometimes it can happen within a year or something, or a few months. Sometimes it could happen, or they're talking about things right away. Could happen in 3 years. Time on the other side is not like time on this planet. So, when they say that it's going to happen, to them it could be a very short time, but to us it could be 3 or 4 or 5 years. And that's also, of course, you have to look at the psychic themselves and see what, if you think they were a good psychic, and that's always a possibility that you would get one that is a little less good on that particular day. Judith asked whether when people reach out to the deceased, do you believe that there will be evil entities who will try to intercept? No. The psychics always bring white light and gold light around them, and also purify the rooms and everything else, calling their angels, calling your angels, to alleviate any or thwart any quote evil or just nuisance spirit coming in to interfere with your psychic reading. Got a thing speaking up. Okay. The only time I had a little bit of a negative reading was when I had a German lady doing it. She was a recent immigrant, older woman, and she was talking about some stuff some people had never heard of or whatever, and it just didn't seem like the usual light and bright type thing. She didn't say anything negative, but it just didn't seem true to me at the time. It could have possibly been some of it true. It's about some ancestor or something. I don't know, but my readings have been very good. So have my wife, not wives. Yes, I think the protection the psychics bring with them will always be enough, because I personally always bring in my own protection. to calling the angels and spirit guides and stuff, and put white light around me and so on. So it's when you get and you should do that. You protect yourself, and the psychic will protect the situation in the room. But it never helps. It never hurts, rather, to protect yourself before going in. And when you do go in, don't go expecting a certain relative to come through, or a certain, because if they don't, what you'll get is the message that you need to hear. Excuse me, and not perhaps the message you would like to hear. They'll tell you, your spirit guides and angels will tell you what you need at this point in your life. And if you come in with a whimsical thing, or wanting to see a particular, or hear about a particular relative, or have them come in, it's not necessarily going to happen. I've had a few palm readings. I don't, you don't run into palm readers very often. It's usually at State Fair or something, or whatever. But I think it works. But it would depend on the palm reader. It's they can look at your hand and look at things and give you some idea of what's happening. I just, when I do a palm reader, I just do it for fun, and I do not expect to get the type of reading I would get from a regular psychic. But I don't hold disregard for the people that are giving those palm readings, because they can be insightful also. If you want to delve into this further, you can also watch the psychics on TV that are out there, and a number of them are traveling the country and giving readings. Teresa Caputo, is a good one. She's funny and informative. But if you just want to get a glimpse, she always brings in the deceased relatives, usually. Some other psychics will tell you about your life path and things in that order. But your relatives on the other side see everything that you're up to. So the psychics can give you verifying messages very easily, because the people on the other side have been keeping tracks, and they try to help you out. They're not just being nosy. So. Mia asked about explorers who ghost hunt, using devices, EPPS, and think they're authentic and all this. That can work. Yeah, I actually ran into a book early on where a guy was using this and had some interesting revelations. But there are easier ways to do it. It's and if he's out there paranormal researching like that, you can run into anything, because there are spirits out there that are grounded. Doesn't mean they're evil, but they could be of a lower vibration, and they're just hanging around the earth because they're afraid to go to the light, and when they cross over, so they're just kind of wandering around. So that's probably the more likely your paranormal explorers will run into them. Um, I visited a graveyard, at Gettysburg, and I think there was a tavern there where they had a ghost in there haunting them, but it's all part of life. Just it's not as powerful as the good, so you don't have to worry about it. No, Judith. She's asking whether I would encourage their futures to be read. Psychics usually don't give you a bad reading. And they're not going to tell you if you're going to die, because if you're going to die, you planned it when you're on the other side. And death is just going back home, where it's a joyful place, more love and light than you can imagine. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You should be celebrating a death, actually. The hardest part's being born, coming in from that into a 3D atmosphere. But if you have somebody that tells you bad things that are going to happen, that doesn't mean that they will happen, for one thing, because you are the master of your own destiny. You plan some things on the other side, but the things you planned are going to have you grow spiritually and have a higher vibration, which is what you're trying to do while you're here. And if somebody's telling you you're going to have a bad experience in the future, you can go to another psychic and see what they say, or you can have your astrology report done or something, and read your daily astrology horoscope or whatever. But everybody has some challenges in their life. It wouldn't be Earth if you didn't have challenges, and these challenges are how you grow in this life. So it's all good no matter what happens. The Kay asked how people would have different experiences about these phenomena and hallucinations. Well, if it's a hallucination, it's not anything you're hallucinating. It's not anything important. But phenomena is just it can be a ghost or something that you don't understand. It could actually be a relative that's just trying to contact you. They all want to tell you when they cross over. They're all trying to get in contact with you to let you know that they're okay and everything is all right, and you should go on with your life and be happy. But sometimes these messages are misconstrued, misinterpreted, and you just don't realize what's going on. Cassandra asked whether my experience with psychic phenomena has changed my perspective about life. Yes, it has. I've been exposed to enough and seen the visible signals as my book Soul License Tips and Tales. You get all kinds of messages from different areas, and license plates are definitely one of them. And you also get messages from your angels and so on. It's 444, your angels, 333 is more angels, but little different meanings. But and a way to protect yourself is to surround yourself in a circle of mirrors facing outward. um, and put gold light from your feet to the top of your head. If you think somebody is sending you negative energy, you can call on your angels and ask them to surround them with lead, around them with mirrors facing inward, and have white light from their feet to the top of their head. So if they're sending out negative energy, it's purified by the white light. It doesn't go out by the lead, and it helps them become a higher vibration by having that white light on the inside. the the psychics on TV, even you can get horoscopes on TV. YouTube and things like that are interesting. So it's all good. Yeah. Oh, angel. Yeah, Mia. Angel numbers. That's 444 is always angels, and the 333 is angels, and similar. They're directing you in a certain way. They're just saying that you're on your path, and your things are good when you see those numbers. That's all I'm going to say about numbers, except in license plates. But got about 3 minutes left here, I think. Okay. Any more questions? The circumstances of the around your life when you get these messages, you must entertain that to be what's important. You're not getting random messages. The first psychic, well, I think they just started seeing dead people, from what I've seen and read. Some of them in modern times, they'd wake up when they're kids and see them, a dead person on their bed, and they thought that this was all natural and that everybody saw dead people, but then they realized later that that isn't natural, and then they get into a little trouble or something, and then some of them shut it down, and some of them become psychic then, and just utilize that benefit to help other people. I actually have a friend, wife of a friend of mine who is a psychic, but she shut hers down. She gives a reading to a friend of hers that calls her up once a year, but it was too much for her to get all that energy. Okay. I think got a little more. And even a psychic that my wife and I had and really enjoyed, was the best psychic reading we ever had. It's detailed in the book. But that particular woman had to give it up because it was just too much after a while. And but she was really a blessing that we got the reading we did from her. 666 is a different number. I won't get into that one. Yeah. That's a darker number. Supposedly, I don't know. I've never. I've got different meanings for the 66 and 6 rather than. So it's I've turned it into something positive. Okay, I think we're done for today. Thanks for being with me, and have a great day.